So what, I don't know if you can see this, but this is the internal control audit manual. Was delivered by the firm when someone like joined the firm. This is the manual. You remember Liliana? She says yes. I'm sorry, but the audio is not good enough. Manual of audit and internal control. See, it is a very big manual. So I would like to start by saying this. The part of audit manual is no longer delivered in this way. We do not have the printed version in Excel format. Now, all the audit manual is totally in Arbasoft. The talk is about the manual of audit. So I would like to urge you to download the program, review it, and see how useful it is. I would like to share with you the following. So where in the Arbasoft program this manual is located, okay? So this is the main menu. This is what we saw with Mr. Miguel Angel. This is the engine by which several modules are moved. There are 4 modules and work papers. One is about planning and audit risk, which is part of the manual of audit. Then we will see this is to comply with the ISA standard. Audit area, audit brands, and the summary per audit area. The areas of audit, I've opened those modules already, because when you open it, there's a whole compilation of information. There's a scanning. I will not do this part. I will skip this part of the menu. And in audit areas, I will find the following module. When we see the audit areas, this will take me to the cash, equivalent of cash. The program, this is the nomenclature adopted for the software. How do we know this? It's a matter of organizing the work papers where we specifically for ARPAsoft and for the manual of audit is all the letters are assets, the double letters are liabilities and capital, and the numbers are P&L. We have been using this in audit jargon. So let's see the cash and equivalents. So you will see, please tell me if you see on the screen the menu of cash and cash equivalents. Do you see this? Yes, we can see it. Okay, so here, well, this is the summary, sub-summary of banks, available investments, and other cash equivalents, but all the bottoms refer to the part of the audit manual. We see the concept of this item. What are the rules of valuation, of presentation, of disclosure? What are the audit objectives for this particular item? What are the procedures that we have available so the professional judgment and the planning will say, and we will determine the nature, extension, and opportunity of the procedures that will be applied according to the risk that we have in the audit. So once we determined the risk, we determined that we will review the cash and cash equivalents because it is a risk under the audit strategy. We will have all the manual referring to cash and cash equivalents. I will see all the procedures of audit available and the conclusion that I reached after applying all the procedures that I considered necessary for this exercise. And then we have all the possible procedures of audit that may be applied, the cut-off of cash, bank reconciliations, transfers, and any other that I can incorporate according to the planning that will be useful to obtain enough evidence to justify my opinion of this item. So with this brief introduction, all the manual is here. We will see we will hit the concept button. In which language would you like it? In Spanish or English? Spanish. This is a hyperlink, the cash and cash equivalent. The concept is for IFRS, complete or for SMEs. So IFRS, so I just hit 2, and it says in paragraph 6 of the IFRS 7, it establishes that the cash consists of the cash are bank deposits. The equivalent of cash are short-term investment of great liquidity. The paragraph 66 states what is the presentation of the financial statements. The IFRS 32, the financial instrument, the cash is a financial asset because it's a mean of payment. So this is really helpful to the person that will prepare the work. And all of this was contained in the manual that I have just showed you. I'm going to close the screen and then disclosure. I go in English or Spanish, so let's put it in Spanish. But now I want it for SMEs according to the framework. I give my opinion, which is a reliable copy of the financial statement. The IFRS for SMEs in the section number 7, which is cash flow statement, and the paragraph 7.20 is an entity will present the components of cash and equivalent of cash, as well as a reconciliation of the amounts, blah, blah, blah. So it is very important to have a manual, but we have not been able to find it. But what are the objectives of the audit in this item? So I go again in Spanish. Since there is nothing specific for this, we have a guide of audit of the Mexican Institute of Public Accountants, and that states the audit objectives. Once I applied the procedures, I've already showed this to you, we reach a conclusion. Okay, let's see the procedures. What are the procedures that may be applied in the tail of banks, investigate the opening, and so on? And then you will see all the procedures available, and this is the application for them. We can have the till or the cash count. If I'm requested to have a proof of this, here we have cash, we have the till, and we have the format to be filled out. Then how much I found in coins and bills, in receipts, in vouchers and checks, to prove that we have the fund, that we have the cash count. Then I go back, and finally I finished applying the procedures, and then I will reach the conclusion. Based on the work done, we can conclude that the balance are up to date. So they are valued and presented according to the IFRS, SME, or IFRS, or the Mexican laws, or whatever the framework, legal framework we are performing the valuation. Are they reasonably correct? If it's a no, we need to explain the causes. What is the effect on the disclosure?
And also the physical stock of merchandise, or what does that represent for this box? And there we come to the manual, which is included here. As Miguel Angel said, all the planning module. The first one is the planning. Right now, we're not going to go deeper into details. What I want to mention is that planning in audit, control assessment, to determine some auditing procedures, and what do they mean in this reference framework is in this manual. Then I would like to know if there's any question related to this topic. Otherwise, we will proceed to the conclusions of this topic. We're just about 2 minutes.